Lexi Hull being back in Indiana in the gym, working out. We saw Keith Porter in there. We saw Lexi shooting her shots. We saw Lexi with reverse layup.
Ever wonder why some players improve while others plateau? The Indiana Fever just released Lexi Hull's new workout video, and it's exposing everything wrong with Angel Reese's training approach. Not just a little different, we're talking night and day difference in what actually matters for development.
Trying to figure out why she's putting so much time in developing an outside shot when she works under the basket, primarily.
While Hull is grinding with Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner on game-specific scenarios, Reese is out there filming herself allegedly practicing. If you can call it that way, one player is building championship habits, the other is building an Instagram highlight reel that has nothing to do with her actual role. Let's break down why this matters so much for both their futures, and how Reese's practice is being put to shame. Stick around, because we'll reveal a shocking statistic about Hull and Reed that'll put Reese in her place. Are you ready? Let's go.
As Lexi Hull, she's back.
Have you seen what's happening with Lexi Hull's training? The Indiana Fever just dropped a video that's making waves for all the right reasons. Unlike those flashy, overproduced workout videos flooding social media, we're looking at you. Angel Reese Hull's training footage shows something refreshingly authentic: actual basketball development with real purpose. What jumps out immediately is how purposeful every drill appears. Hull isn't working out alone. She's alongside Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner, running through specific sets designed to enhance their on-court chemistry. This isn't random shooting around, it's a calculated approach targeting precisely where Hull struggled early last season. The Fever's implementation of a motion offense, or what some would call as read and react, is front and center in Hull's training regimen. If you're unfamiliar, this offensive system thrives on continuous player movement and strategic cutting to create scoring opportunities, and Hull's workout directly addresses the skills needed to excel within this framework. You can see her perfecting her catch and technique, running through screen plays and working on movement patterns that will get her open looks. Next season, her training focuses on 3 critical areas that perfectly complement her role: fundamental shooting mechanics with that textbook high release point screen and cut actions with emphasis on finishing at the rim, and developing a reliable mid-range game, including floaters. What makes this approach particularly smart is how it aligns with Clark's playmaking abilities. Hull is practicing exactly the shots she'll get when Clark draws defenders and creates passing lanes. The Fever coaching staff seems to have dissected Hull's performance data carefully. If you watched last season, you probably noticed how Hull's shooting efficiency and overall impact spiked dramatically after the Olympic break when she earned more consistent minutes. This training video shows they're doubling down on what worked, refining the skills that transformed her from bench player to key contributor. What's striking about the footage is its substance: no gimmicks, no flashy music overlays, no unnecessary props or stunts, just athletes grinding through repetitions of game-specific scenarios they'll face next season. It's basketball work in its purest form, focused on translating directly to actual game situations. You can't miss Hull's evident joy throughout these workouts. She's consistently smiling and engaged, clearly loving the process of improvement. That positive mindset isn't just nice to see, it's a crucial ingredient for player development. When athletes genuinely enjoy their training, they're more likely to put in the extra work needed to make significant strides. This strategic approach to training helps explain why Hull improved so dramatically as last season progressed. By focusing specifically on skills that directly translate to her role in the Fever system, she's positioning herself to be more than just a role player. She's becoming an essential piece that makes the entire offense more dangerous.
Reasons other than the defense she plays and getting her hands on balls and all the other stuff Lexi does that makes us absolutely cheer for her and appreciate her. It's that she does it with such joy. Joy, the 3-letter word that is so huge in sports, and we don't always see that in people, but there's that joy on her face.
While Lexi Hull transforms into a perfect system player through targeted development across the league, we're witnessing the basketball equivalent of someone practicing their violin skills for an upcoming piano recital. Let's flip the script and look at Angel Reese's training videos that have Chicago Sky fans scratching their heads when a 6'3" post player who shot 18% from beyond the arc last season dedicates her off-season ASIN to becoming the next Steph Curry, instead of fixing her 44.5% finishing rate from within 5 feet and 39% overall. You've got to question what's really going on.
There's footage out there of Angel working on her game in the lab, as they say, and mostly what we see is Angel shooting 3-pointers.
Basketball is a game of roles. Each player has a specific job within their team system. Hull has embraced her role as a movement shooter who creates spacing and opportunities within the Fever's offense. Reese, meanwhile, is supposed to be an interior force, an elite rebounder for the Sky. But when you watch her training videos, you'd think she was trying out for a completely different position. Chicago Sky fans aren't staying quiet about it either. Social media has been flooded with comments like, "Why is she working on threes when she can't make a layup?" This sentiment captures the frustration of watching a player ignore her most pressing development needs. Another fan pointedly observed, "Is Reese trying to be Steph Curry or Caitlin Clark?" The contrast couldn't be more telling.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
The numbers tell an even more fascinating story. Did you know that nearly 40% of Reese's rebounds come from her own missed shots? That's not a typo. Almost half her rebounding stats stem from cleaning up her own misses instead of working on becoming a more efficient finisher around the rim, which would immediately boost her value. She's launching threes that have virtually no chance of becoming part of her actual game.
Oh no! It's Angel Reese! Left alone! Bang! Money! And I want it now! Corner 3-ball! Butter pecan! Burn!
Y'all gonna disrespect me and not guard me? Well, hand down, man down. Burn!
McDonald's handing out brand deals for this kind of bag work. I'll take a lot less. Help a brother out. Bang!
Really only need 3,997 more threes to catch Steph.
Bang!
This disconnect between training focus and one-court role reveals something deeper about basketball intelligence. Players who understand the game at a high level don't just work hard, they work smart. They target skills that directly enhance their specific role within their team system. When Reese practices 3-pointers rather than improving her shooting from within 5 feet, it raises serious questions about her understanding of her own value proposition as a player.
Me why I love her odds. Look at her defenders. They moonwalk backwards. She's always gonna be open. Bang! If only the IRS left me alone like Angel's defenders leave her alone. Tax evasion! Bang! Her new nickname is 7-Eleven because she's open 24/7, baby. Bang! Shout out to my Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham. This is for you!
The contrast extends beyond just Hull and relook at Aaliyah Boston's approach with the Indiana Fever, focusing on post-moves footwork and mid-range shots that directly relate to her role as a dominant center. It's strategic, purposeful development that builds on strengths rather than chasing weaknesses that aren't relevant to her position, something that Reese can definitely learn from. This fundamental difference in training philosophies explains why some players and teams consistently improve While others plateau despite apparent hard work, the Fever's player development program has each athlete focusing on skills directly applicable to their specific role, creating a roster of specialists who excel in complementary areas. Meanwhile, Ree risks becoming irrelevant, soon dabbling in perimeter skills, while neglecting the interior fundamentals that would make her truly dangerous.
Oh, refreshing to see some shots actually make it. Refreshing? Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music! Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
You're doing the Angel Reese in the NBA now. Watch again.
Took 2 slabs of butter, rubbed his hands together, and said, butter pecan. Bang! All right, back to business. Slime bag work, Brittany Griner, you said you rang? Bang!
Ever wondered why some shots swish perfectly while others clank off the rim? The mechanics behind a basketball shot reveal everything about a player's development path. When examining Hull's technique in these training videos, what jumps out immediately is her high release, point the ball positioned near her forehead before launch. This isn't just aesthetically pleasing, it's functionally superior, creating both a natural shooting arc and protection against defenders who might otherwise swat the ball away.
She's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Bang!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. A friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her, too. Bang! Must be nice to look this clumsy at your job and then declare you're underpaid. That's privilege. Bang! Justice for all baby giraffes out there. I will fight the good fight. Bang! There's one thing to take from these videos. Never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too.
Now flip to Angel Reese's workout footage, and you're watching a basketball fundamentals horror show. The ball starts disturbingly low chest level with wrists awkwardly crossed during her shooting motion. What follows is a pushing action that originates from her hips rather than flowing through her shooting arm, those crossed wrists aren't just a minor technical detail. They're what shooting coaches call a big red flag. This fundamental flaw disrupts the alignment required for consistent accuracy. Think about it. When your wrists aren't properly positioned, the ball literally has nowhere to go but straight, making it both easier for defenders to block and dramatically reducing the probability of the ball finding its way into the basket.
Trying to hone her skills after what can only be described as one of the worst shooting seasons anybody's ever seen in the history of basketball. Real good rebounding season, but the shooting, well, it was a lacking. Okay, it was a lacking. The mainstream media just decided to cover that up throughout the season when she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA.
What's truly baffling is that these aren't advanced graduate level shooting problems. These are basketball 101 errors that any halfway decent shooting coach would spot and correct during the first training session. It raises serious questions. Is Ree receiving any legitimate technical guidance, or is she surrounded by yes people who won't tell her the uncomfortable truth about her shooting mechanics?
Okay, so here you see she's being fed the ball. She's in the right corner. She gets the ball. And again, if you're going to work on expanding your game, okay. But at least make sure that your technique is right. So I'm hoping that this guy and whoever else works with her will work on her technique, because I don't care how many you shoot like this with nobody guarding you. If your technique is not right, you might get a few here or there by happenstance or whatever, but you're not going to consistently knock down shots.
The consequences of these technical differences are written clearly in the stats. Ready for the eye-popping statistic? Hull managed to convert 47% of her three-point attempts last season, red-hot accuracy that opens up the floor for her teammates. Meanwhile, Ree struggled to an astonishing 44.5% on shots within 5 feet of the basket. For context, that's not just bad, it's historically bad for a post player taking that volume of close-range shots in WNBA history. Put in another way, Lexi Hull is more accurate shooting behind the arc than Ree is within 5 feet.
Her arms, her wrists are crossed. Her wrists are crossed, which is the wrong form. Your wrist should not be crossed. You should be totally aligned to your target. So this means that her shooting hand, which is her left, is crossing over. Her elbow, therefore, jutting out.
This comparison becomes even more telling when you consider that almost 40% of Reese's rebounds came off her own missed shots. While some might spin this as hustle basketball, analysts recognize the ugly truth. She's creating her own rebounding opportunities through inefficient shooting. It's like praising someone for cleaning up a mess they created in the first place.
Is here. Watch this. Look how far out the ball is. Look how far out she's showing the defense. I'm telling you right now, that's what you call cookies. Cookies for days is what we say when we get our hands on the basketball that is shown to us.
Self-created messes rarely lead to championship banners, which is precisely why the Fever's developmental approach matters so much. While some franchises chase viral moments, and Instagram, like Indiana, is quietly assembling what basketball insiders are calling the WNB as next dynasty. The contrast we're seeing between Hull and Ree isn't just about current shooting percentages. It's about predicting where these divergent developmental paths ultimately lead. The Indiana Fever aren't just collecting talent, they're orchestrating something remarkable. Their player development philosophy centers on tailored growth plans for each roster member, with Lexi Hull emerging as the perfect example of this approach paying dividends. She's not just a complementary piece, she's becoming essential to their championship aspirations through deliberate role-specific development.